What's up, ninjas? This is Capo J. Got a few private messages sent to me recently. I guess dudes checking out my videos and noticing my range bag, shooter's bag. I call it my operator's bag, but they were kind of wondering what I kept inside of it, what the essentials were, the contents of it, and who made it. This one is actually just a kind of a cheapie, just a Blackhawk sporter bag. Sportster bag that I got at Walmart a few years ago. It's actually held up pretty well. I think I got it for around, I don't honestly, $25, $35, something like that. But we'll just kind of go over the contents. And this, what's in it right now is what was in it a few days ago over this weekend when the old lady and I took out her AR-15 and stuff. So it's going to have a bunch of mags and stuff in here, but I guess we'll go ahead and get right to it. Probably the least exciting is what I would consider is probably the most important. I put an IFAK on here. This is what keeps all of our medical in it, and just kind of like a quick rundown of stuff inside. I've got a ton of stuff in here, but right on top I keep the TK4 tourniquet. I've got a bunch of gauze and compression bandages, as well as gloves, and also just like regular boo-boo kit stuff. Keep a couple of packets of Quick Clot in here. I also have some ACE bandages and some just regular stuff, band-aids, all sorts of different pressure bandages. Pretty much most things that you would probably need, because you know, accidents happen, people are stupid, people get careless, and if you're one of the unfortunate few people that actually has to go to a public range, you know, there's no shortage of dipshits. So negligent discharges happen all the time, you never know, so it's always good to keep a well-stocked medical kit. So like I said, accidents happen, so that's probably the most important thing that I keep in my operator range bag. As far as it also has a couple on the sides here, a couple of different storage compartments. In this one I keep like a Walmart bag and a couple of large trash bags. This is basically to, you know, take care of all your trash, get rid of all the steel casings or whatever, you know, because people are pretty sloppy and they leave targets and stuff around. So it's a good idea to keep some ways to dispose of trash in there for yourself and other people. Inside this other compartment right next to it, I keep a spare set of Ear Pro. These are like the cheap little cheapies, but Michelle likes these. They're, you know, relatively comfortable and they're lightweight. I also keep a spare pair of earplugs in case you have any friends or companions or whatever that need some Ear Pro. Let's see, so that pretty much takes care of that side of the bag. Let's see, the other side over here is, this compartment here is pretty much where I keep a lot of the tools and stuff that I might need. Keep just a cheapy little Kershaw folder pocket knife in here. You might need to cut something, obviously. Let's see, keep a pair of soft jaw pliers in here. These are really good if you need to like wrench something off and you don't want to mar the finish of your gun, which I'm usually not too worried about because guns are tools, and honestly they look cooler the more scuffed up they get. But the main purpose of this that I think is really cool about it is these are really good for taking off magazine tube extensions for shotguns without denting, because, you know, they're usually pretty thin or they might be aluminum. So this thing works really well to get it on there tight and to get it off there easily. Let's see, I also keep in here, it's kind of hard to see, but I keep an AK-47 / SKS sight adjustment tool, as well as an AR-15 sight adjustment tool. I also keep an AR's Armorer's tool. This is just a cheapy one, like a $10 or $15 one I got, but I have used it a little bit and it does work well. I also keep a nylon punch in here. I don't keep a hammer or anything, but usually there's something heavy or big to use as a hammer. But these nylon punches are good for drifting sights. Again, sometimes some bigger pins, you don't want to destroy your finish. In here I also keep a Sharpie. These are good for if you're like sighting in rifles. You can mark off your targets, the bullet holes where you already hit, so you won't confuse them with new ones. And this, let's see, in here, definitely got to have a Glock Armorer's tool. Even if you're a Glock hater and you don't even own or use Glocks, they're still good, and they're a really good multi-tool as far as like using them for punching pins or what have you. And finally, I keep a spare guide rod and recoil assembly for a Glock 19 in here. So that's pretty much the stuff in here, just a little bit of everything. There's always a million other things that you could have in here. I just kind of want to have a little bit of everything. Stuff that I use that I find that typically is going to be needed. Okay, so in here, the main compartment, this is where the magic happens. This is all the cool gangster shit that I keep in here. These are pretty much the heart of the essentials in here. Right here on top in this bag, I keep a couple of extra sets of eye pro in here, just kind of cheap stuff. You definitely got to have eye protection. We usually have some sunglasses, but here's a couple of extra sets in there. This is my outside the waistband holster that came with my SIG P320. Sometimes I'll switch it out to this. I always keep it in there. Definitely got to have a good set of operator gloves for running rifles, especially AKs that get hot. So I always wear these mechanics. You can get them in any Walmart. Everybody knows about mechanics. They're great. I keep a Uplula speed loader in here. Well, not really a speed loader, but this is a mag loader. You can do it a lot faster and a lot easier, and I don't know, I guess it ends up saving your thumbs. Everybody needs one of those. And inside is my main set of ear pro. These are my Peltor Tac Sports. I recently just put an original SOE Peltor wrap on here, so it makes them more comfortable, a little bit cooler. That helps wick sweat away with the mesh in there, and just makes them all around more comfortable. I always keep my SIG magazines in here, because even if, or some of my extra, 5 of my extra SIG P320 magazines in here, because even if the intention isn't to go out and shoot handguns all day, at the very least, every time we go shooting, I always, practice with my carry gun, practice drawing, shooting on the move. So at the very least, I make myself at least go through 5 mags, even if I'm not even feeling the pistol that day. So I always keep these in here and always at least make myself run through 5 mags. So the mags always stay in here. And like I said before, I haven't taken anything out since a couple of days ago, since we were running her AR-15 back here. Inside here, I keep 10 extra mags, 10 AR mags, all loaded up, of course, obviously. Never leave any magazines unloaded, otherwise they're worthless. So that's just pretty much it. They're just stacked in here, too deep, and everything else sits on top of it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I hope this answered the few of the questions that I had sent to me regarding what I keep in my operator bag, my range bag, and what kind of stuff I use, how I have it set up. It's pretty simple, just a little bit of everything. And assuming that if we wouldn't have ran AR-15 this weekend, it'd have a bunch of AK mags in there and my AK chest rig. So that pretty much covers it. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. And hopefully you have a range bag or a shooting bag. If not, I'd highly suggest that you get one. I assume most guys do. But if you don't, you probably should get one, because you can fill it with a lot of good stuff, and it will make your shooting a lot more enjoyable. So take it easy, and thanks for watching.